Scaredy Dog. Chapter 1. This is Dudley. Dudley lives with Daphne. Dudley loves Daphne. Daphne loves Dudley right back. Every day, Dudley took Daphne for a run in the park. They chased the plains and dug for dinosaur bones. This tired Daphne out. Oh really, look who's the tired one. Chapter 2. Now, for a dog, Dudley had quite an imagination. For instance, he imagined he wasn't scared of spiders. But when a spider scuttled across the bedroom floor, it seemed like just the right time to look for lost teddies under the duvet. You're a scaredy dog, Dudley laughed Daphne, and she gave him a hug. Don't worry, I'll save you. Dudley dived back under the duvet. There in the dark, Dudley couldn't help imagining all the other things that scared him silly. There were wasps and bees, Dudley whispered, and you can't forget ghosts and vampires. Oh, and big blue hairy buggles with googly eyes. Of course, Dudley had never actually seen a big blue hairy buggle, but that wasn't going to stop him from being scared of them. There was one real scary monster that Dudley didn't have to imagine, and it was a dog called Attila. And he was small and pointy teeth. He lived 2 doors down at number 48. There, in the front garden, come rain or shine, was Attila tied to a tatty old piece of rope. Shame. Daphne never mentioned Attila, and she always walked the long way around to the park so that Dudley didn't have to go past number 48. Chapter 3. One day, Dudley and Daphne were watching television when on came a doggy program. All the dogs on television were brave and heroic. Dudley went and looked in the mirror. Oh dear, Dudley didn't look brave or heroic. But then he made a big decision. Dudley decided he wouldn't be scared anymore. He would try to be brave and heroic like the dogs on television. He pressed his nose to the misty glass. Being brave and heroic can't be that hard, he said to himself. Suddenly he heard his favorite words. Walkies! Cried Daphne. In the blink of an eye, they were off, down the road towards the park. When it came to crossing the road, Daphne and Dudley knew it was what was to do. Stop, said Daphne, and look and listen. And if there are no cars coming, walk briskly across the road. Look and listen as you go. Daphne smiled at Dudley, but Dudley didn't notice. His head was full of darling dogly deeds. Chapter 4. They walked through the park gates. Come on, Dudley, cried Daphne. This looks like a place to find dinosaur bones. But Dudley had other things on his mind. Dudley, the brave and heroic dog, looks around for heroic things to do, he said to himself. Suddenly Dudley saw a sweet little girl all alone on a lonely mountain top. Oh, she doesn't look very sweet to me. She looks very grumpy. Dudley, The brave rescue dog to the rescue, he woofed. But it turned out the sweet little girl didn't need rescuing after all. She wasn't at all that sweet either. Dudley had only just got his breath back when he realized he couldn't see Daphne anywhere. Oh dear, thought Dudley, feeling a bit scared. Then he made another big decision. Dudley, the brave and heroic dog, bravely decided to go for a walk on his own. Then Dudley happened to notice a hoop for jumping through like at a circus. Dudley, the brave circus dog, jumps through the fiery hoop. The crowd gasps. But that didn't go well either. Dudley swung sadly back and forth in the gentle breeze. Then he spotted the hot dog stand. Dudley, the brave guard dog, bravely guards the hot dogs. Dudley's tummy decided it was lunchtime. Oh dear! Chapter 5. After a large lunch, Dudley lay in the daisies and thought some very big thoughts. It dawned on me, said Dudley to himself, that being brave and heroic isn't very easy at all. Then he spotted the birds. Dudley, the sheepdog, bravely rounds up a flock of birds. But the birds really didn't want to be rounded up. Dudley didn't stop running until he was far, far away. He was feeling very sad. When he looked at his reflection in the puddle, all he saw was a scaredy dog looking back. Dudley, the brave and heroic dog, isn't brave and heroic after all, he said inside. He's just plain old scaredy dog. Dudley, just like Daphne said. But it would be nice, he thought, as a tear popped down. It would be very nice if Daphne was here to give me a hug and a kiss. Aww. Chapter 6. And guess what? Dudley! Squeaked Daphne. I've been looking for you everywhere. I thought you were lost forever. She gave him a hug and a kiss. I love you, you silly old dog. She smiled, and of course Dudley loved Daphne right back. Come on, let's go home, said Daphne. They had just got to the park gate when it started to rain. Oh dear! Daphne didn't have her raincoat. But it's just a few spots, she said. Then it was a few more, and a few more, and then it was pouring. Quick, Dudley, run! Cried Daphne. And they ran down the street, not looking where they were going. Suddenly, there was Attila. They had taken the wrong way back home. Chapter 7. Roar! Growled Attila, and he pulled at that tatty old piece of rope. Pull, 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 snap! The rope broke, and Attila came charging at them. With his mean eyes and his sharp pointy teeth, Daphne was really scared. She didn't know what to do. Dudley did. He stood in front of Daphne, took a deep breath and roared. It was the loudest growl Daphne had ever heard. It was the loudest growl Attila had ever heard. It might even have been the loudest growl the whole world. Everything went quiet. Daphne looked at Dudley. Dudley didn't look like Dudley. His fur was all sticking up and he was fierce and snaring at Attila. Attila took one look at Dudley, turned tail and ran off. Chapter 8. Dudley, you saved me! Shrieked Daphne, and she gave Dudley a hug and a kiss. You're not a scaredy dog anymore, she smiled. You're brave and you're my hero too. She gave him another hug and a kiss, just in case he hadn't hugged and kissed him enough the first time. I love you, Dudley, she said. And of course, Dudley loved Daphne right back. But suddenly, Dudley was gone. Dudley? Dudley, where are you? Unfortunately, just at that moment, Dudley thought he had spotted a big, blue, hairy boggle. And he was still scared of those. And that's the end. Thank you guys so much. Bye.